Through the Honey H1 and the DT-R1 Plus that we have tested before, we have gained a deeper understanding of the Dethongray brand. Their excellent quality and mature tuning makes us more and more interested in their product. Today, we will talk about our impressions of the Dethongray's planar driver IEM Tender 1. First of all, the delicate and exquisite technique of the Dethongray brand has also been inherited on the Tender 1. This pair in our hands are all black with the Civo brand logo on the panel. The IEM is made of pure metal material. There are two pressure relief holes outside of the cavity and the MMCX connector. The overall design language is simple and elegant. The texture of the shell is excellent, and it feels the best in hand among the other planar driver IEMs we have tested so far. In terms of the wearing comfort, due to the ergonomic design of the Tender 1, the outer auricle surface of the shell has a very delicate curve. It is one of the most comfortable universal fit IEM we have tested so far, and there is no obvious discomfort after a long session. Of course, this might vary according to the individual ear structure. The Tender 1 comes with a high-quality 4 strands of pure silver cable. The cable has a certain thickness, but it feels very soft and it is very convenient to use. The Tender 1 uses a 10mm planar driver, which has a high demand for power. It is even more obvious than other planar driver IEM we mentioned before. With the combination of the DT-R1 Plus and the original silver cable, the warmth, delicacy, and the natural transitions are perfectly reflected on the Tender 1, and the soundstage is very spacious. At the very beginning, our first impression of the Tender 1 is smooth, well controlled, but nothing too special. After experimenting with different audio sources, like the DT-R1 Plus, the Honey H1, and some combination of desktop devices, tube amps, the Tender 1 has left us intoxicated. We can truly sense Mr. Anson's mature understanding of sound on the Tender 1. The sound goes up, and it has many common characteristics with the DT-R1 Plus. Lush and warm. The vocal sounds very emotional. When listening to instrumental music, the delicate resolving ability and the excellent density can definitely make people immersing into the music. With enough power, the low-frequency volume is sufficient. The sub-bass dive is deep, very elastic, and the low-frequency texture is excellent and relatively clean. It reminds me of some bookshelf speakers. Thanks to the excellent performance of the planar driver, the dynamic details of the low frequency are extremely rich, which is obvious when listening to electronic music. The mid-frequency sound is not very close to the ear. Somehow, we do feel that the Tender One has a peculiar and charming character when it comes to vocals, as mellow and silky as the hot chocolate. The Tender One has good high-frequency resolution and excellent delicacy. When it's sufficiently powered, the details are fully displayed and the extension is good. It can be regarded as a transparent and sweet high-frequency performance. In terms of the soundstage, we mentioned earlier that when the Tender One is fully displayed, the soundstage is very spacious. The imaging is also very good, and the position of the live instruments can be clearly perceived. It's manifest when listening to classic music. Now, we would like to make a simple comparison with some other planar driver IEMs we have tested recently. The 7Hz Timeless. The sound is loose and detailed, and the extension at both ends is excellent. But compared with other ones, the density of the mid-frequency is slightly lacking for our taste. When listening to vocals, it is not as enjoyable as other ones in this list. We think it is more suitable for listening to classical music, electronic music, and movie soundtrack. The Gold Planar GL12 has excellent build quality, the warmest sound, and a very special mid-frequency, just like the golden tone of the sunset. Yet, the high-frequency extensions might not reach to the level of the other models. The Ting Hi-Fi P1, P1 Plus. A lot of power is required to show their ability. The mid-frequency sounds very attractive. The high-frequency details are rich too, but the low frequency is relatively restrained compared to other ones in this list. The Tender One is probably the most power-demanding one among these planar driver IEMs. But when it is fully released, the sound comes out of it is the most balanced and versatile. It is very satisfactory to listening to almost any kind of music with it, and the finish is also the best out of the group. If budget is not an issue, we think the Tender One is definitely worth checking out. We simply love the engaging and smooth sound of it. If you have the ultimate pursuit of sound, and you have some high-level output sources like the Honey H1, DTR1 Plus, or a high-quality desktop device, we recommend you to try the Thonray Tender One. And please support and subscribe to our channel if you like our content. Your support is our motivation to continue providing good reviews.